Hey there, welcome to Tod Talks, the podcast where we're shining a light on brilliant local businesses making life better for families with little ones. I'm Bill from Toddler, and in each episode, we'll have a natter with one of our amazing partners, finding out what makes them tick, how they're helping parents, and how being part of the Toddler family is helping them thrive. So grab a cuppa, put your feet up if the kids will let you, and let's dive in. Hi Alex.
Hi Bill.
Thanks for coming to Tod Talks. So I won't tell anybody. Why don't you, in your own words, tell us what Tropic's all about?
So Tropic is a skincare brand that was actually created by a lady called Susie Ma. She was on The Apprentice back in 2011, and she took a product to the show, which is our founding product. She came third. She didn't win it, but Alan Sugar's wife absolutely loved it. It was a fantastic body scrub. And so after the show, she nudged Alan to invest in her, and he did. He offered her £200,000, and she went away and created a brand. And apparently the story goes that if Alan hadn't put his hand in his pocket, Nick Hewer was ready to come in right behind him. So he did. And then that was 14 years ago. So 2 years ago, she has now fired him. So she now owns it, and he was happy to let it go. He said at the time, as a 76-year-old, I don't need another business. You know, I have so many fly. So he's done masses for the company in the years that he was with her at the helm.
Oh, nice.
But this product all started when she was 15. She came into the UK. She came from Beijing via the tropics in Australia, where her grandmother taught her everything that there was to know about natural plants and the efficacy of natural plants and what they can do for the body. And her grandmother herself was a toxicologist, a surgeon, a very medically sound lady, but didn't want any of that for her family. So Susie used to get bitten a lot out in Oz, and so she created this body scrub which has lemon myrtle in, which mosquitoes don't like, lemon citronella. So when she came to this country, age 15, she decided to persuade her mother to let her have 300 quid, and they were very, very poor. But her mother let her have it, believed in her, so she could buy glass jars, Kilner jars. And with her grandmother's help, they made up batches of this body scrub. And age 15, she went along with her mother, who had a toy stall at Greenwich Market, and went to get a stall at Greenwich Market. And this was on the Saturday morning. She was there at 7 like you had to be. But the guy who allocated stalls didn't think she had it. She thought she was too young. He thought she was too young. So she didn't get her stall on that first Saturday morning. And she was absolutely gutted because she'd bought all her stock with her. Anyway, Sunday morning, she went back. She was first in the queue. And the guy who allocated market slots said, go on then. And gave her a prime spot right at the front. And she made £900. She sold out in that first
Good for her.
outing, age 15. And from then on, it kind of never stopped. She got all her school friends involved. Apparently, she made the label with MS Paint, which goes back to eons ago. And that's how Tropic actually started. It was her age 15. But then again in 2012, 13, when we launched properly with Alan's money.
And how do you get involved? Are you a franchisee? You're an ambassador? How does that work?
I'm an ambassador. So basically, I sign up, I buy my starter kit, and with Tropic, you don't have any ongoing costs. You buy your kit, that's it. Your only obligation is to place one order every 6 months on the system. That's it. So, or you can go out and sell it to whomever you wish. So that's how you kind of sign up. It's a social selling framework. It was based on Virgin V. Lots of the initial ambassadors who joined the company, Susie and Alan couldn't decide how they were going to sell it, but there was a couple of people who got involved early doors, and they said the Virgin V model seems to work, which is parties in people's houses, word of mouth, market stalls, that kind of thing. So that's the format that Tropic took on. And
that would have been right up Alan Sugar Street.
Yeah.
Market trader.
Absolutely. So it's grown. It's grown exponentially since COVID, because so many people were at home, and it's the kind of thing you can do from home. I think there are something like 22,000 ambassadors, 25,000 ambassadors,
Wow.
something like that, in the whole country. So from Scotland to the Isle of Wight to the Channel Islands and Northern Ireland, we're still only UK based.
Okay. So they're all ethically and sourced, and
absolutely
no preservatives and nasties in there.
No, absolutely not. So all Tropic skin care products are made in house. They're all made in Croydon, in Surrey, in batches. There are no toxic chemicals, preservatives, or artificial fragrances in any of our products. It has a natural preservative, which could be anything from gluten-free maize, basil oil, and star anise, and these are ingredients that help preserve our products. Some products last maybe 6 months, others 24 plus. It depends on the batch and it depends on the product. And the batch is because this lot of ingredients may have this longevity, but exactly the same ingredients may have a different longevity. They test it each time they make a batch.
So we originally met via the Boss Mamas group.
We did.
Big up
Boss Mamas.
Boss Mamas WhatsApp group.
Do you know that was that's been a superb group, and I don't call it a networking group. To me, Boss Mamas has always been a sisterhood. We've always been there supporting each other, and it's been fantastic.
Being the honorary boss. Well, the honorary mama in there.
You are.
Like, I'm the only guy in this.
You are. You're very
privileged. I can tell you
exactly,
that. It's definitely a privilege being part of this group of entrepreneurial women.
Yeah.
And I pitched myself to be there because Toddle About could definitely help some of these businesses.
100%.
Getting you in front of 0 to 5-year-olds and their parents, because it's not just big businesses. There are smaller businesses, the tots classes, the catering, the food, the coffee shops. There's something in there for everybody.
They're absolutely.
And so it's absolutely working. And
yes.
then they've connected me to a few businesses like yours.
Fantastic.
And that's how we've engaged. We're getting you in front of the 0 to 5-year-olds and their parents. But so what product would Tropic have that is perfect? Because I know we're highlighting something in the magazine.
You are.
The kit.
We've got 3 baby products, which are suitable from 2 weeks old. They don't recommend anything on a baby's skin before that anyway. We have a baby wash, a baby oil, and a nappy cream. And they're all 3 are dermatologically tested and paediatrician tested and organic. So they are absolutely suitable for any baby's skin.
You're getting these babies fresh out of the box.
Absolutely.
Let's keep them.
And Susie created the baby range purely because 1 in 4 children now get eczema, and a lot of it is exacerbated or probably not helped by some of the awful chemicals that are in baby products. Johnson & Johnson got sued $2.6 billion for having asbestos in their baby powder.
Wow.
So if anyone uses baby powder by Johnson's, please don't. There are other products now that have corn flour in instead of talcum powder in. Johnson & Johnson themselves tried to overturn the ruling in the Supreme Court in the States, and it got kicked out. So
wow.
They are going to be sued. And, if you can do anything, just don't use Johnson & Johnson baby powder. It's a really bad idea.
Speak to your local Tropic ambassador.
Yeah.
So on that note, if
yes.
people wanted to sort of get in touch with you, what's the best way? How would you like to be contacted?
I have many ways. People can find me at events in and around Basingstoke. They can find me on Facebook. I'm Tropic with Alex. I've got a page. They can ask to join my VIP group, which is called the Skincare Advice Lounge, where I do competitions. I share lots and lots of really useful information about skin, as well as skincare, about what our products can and can't do. I'm on Instagram on Tropic with Alex N. I try and use all these social media platforms, but I find it quite challenging. I have got a TikTok account, but I've only ever done one thing on there.
So, you're going to have a link to a podcast to go on there. And we'll get those links up there. And
perfect.
We'll share all these stories across.
I need to be more active on TikTok, but I'm just not quite there yet.
I can tell you now.
It's too new for me.
I went to the ICAP event a couple of weeks ago and sat down in front of a couple of brilliant ladies talking. And there's one lady that I was talking to, Katrina MacArthur, I think her name is. Anyway, she was talking about marketing to mums.
Yeah.
And like, you need to market yourself to the Gen Ys, different to the Gen X's and then the Gen Zs and the boom.
Oh my goodness,
like, you got to send a letter if you want to get to my mum and dad. But you carry a pigeon to the grandparents.
Yeah.
I just want to let you know about an exciting event we've got coming up. It's called Toddle About Live, and it's happening on Saturday the 13th of September from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m. at Sherfield School near Basingstoke. This is going to be a proper family fun day, tailored to families with little ones aged 0 to 5. We'll have loads of activities like soft play, crafts, baby and toddler classes to try, live demos, expert advice, and free goodies. There is something for everyone. Whether you're chasing after a toddler, cuddling a newborn, or planning a new arrival, Toddle About Live is the place to be. It's totally free to attend, and you can grab your free tickets now at toddle.fun/live. This is the event to be at. But if you want to speak to the new people, like the younger parents coming through, it's all on the socials and TikTok. And I mentioned Instagram to like a very young mum a little while ago. She went, "Oh, people still using that?" I'm like, Jesus,
I know.
I've only jumped on Instagram recently.
I know, it's frightening, isn't it?
It's got to stick around.
And Facebook's even worse, but my generation, I definitely prefer Facebook. I find it a lot easier to negotiate. But
It's all about being user friendly.
Yeah.
You'll be able to grab this on loads of different places.
Great stuff. And then, of course, the other way is if anybody wants to order anything, I've got a web shop like every ambassador. It's always www.tropicskincare.com, and it's / and it's my name, Alex Nicholls, 2 L's.
Alex Nicholls, 2 L's.
2 L's, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about, obviously, we're in the early stages of you being with Toddle About.
Yes.
And in the magazine, we've got that brilliant quarter-page advert at the moment.
Yep.
We're getting real good traction on the leads, like through the web listing. You can see how many people linking and liking and things like that. Just tell us a little bit about your early stage vibes of working with Toddle About.
So I think it's absolutely amazing that I can finally get my feet into a younger demographic. At markets, at Pampers, at parties, the people I generally meet are generally much older. And Tropic is suitable from nursery to nursing home. But having Toddle About has meant that I've now got a younger audience. Because what I generally find is that parents with young children to school-age children, I can never captivate them long enough to have a conversation because, I've been there. Little children, bigger children, they don't want to hang around. They don't want to stand and talk to me. They're being pulled away, or they've got a screaming baby, or they've got their hands full. So this is the perfect outlet for me to be able to show what Tropic can do at an audience for younger mums.
And this leads perfectly straight into the Toddle About Live event we're going to be having in September. You can be there. You can have your all your care range out. You can be selling it. You can talking to people. There's going to be a stage where you can basically talk as much as you want of why Tropic is the go-to brand for 0 to 5.
For mums,
for mums and babies.
And yes, and it's not just about the babies. I think what's really important for young mums is to be able to find 5 or 10 minutes of self-care. I remember that my daughter's got two young children now, and just being able to have 10, 15 minutes out, whether it's you do a quick mask or a quick facial routine, you come out feeling a little bit more human again. And, Tropic has got all the skincare, and it's a quick and easy routine. It's not, I don't do faffage myself. So, when you've got no time, just to be able to just put something on your face, it just makes you feel more human again.
So if you're a bloke like me that looks like an old bin bag.
Not at all.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. But I'm going to be doing more of these in camera, in front of camera stuff. What's in there for the guys? So
the Tropic isn't gender based. So everything you see in the catalogue is suitable for men and women and children. It has that. We have one product which is clearly more male oriented, and that's a shaving cream. But women can use it on their legs or on their underarms. However, it is targeted at men. We used to have a men-only moisturiser, but they've discontinued it because we've brought out another moisturiser, which was so similar that they thought, why have we got two products when one is in a plastic tube and the other is in a glass bottle that can be refilled? So they've scrapped the plastic tube for obvious reasons. So
get rid of the microplastics.
Absolutely. You know, Tropic itself, we are carbon negative. We're double carbon neutral. So we everything that Tropic has done has been tested by the carbon neutral people, and they've gone into Tropic HQ. They've looked at what we do, where everything comes from, and they've still given us carbon neutral status. So every parcel that comes to me comes with paper tape. There is no plastic. So we're moving away from plastic as much as possible. So we are refillable. We use glass as much as possible. A lot of the plastic is PCR, post-consumer recycled plastic. So that's the momentum is growing within all our products to be in glass or PCR plastic.
That's really good to know. So if somebody's bought a product, they've used it, and now they want to refill it. So
it kind of isn't refilled in the traditional sense where you go to a tap and someone pours more ingredients in it. So with our moisturisers, for example, the ones I just mentioned, which are suitable for men, the Fresh Waves, inside each glass bottle is a silicone balloon, and that balloon is filled with product, and it has a plastic pump and a plastic lid. And when it stops pumping out, and you can see the balloon as it dissipates, you can see through the glass that it's hardly anything left. When it stops pumping, you take off the pump, you remove the balloon and you keep the balloon, and then you get a new glass bottle with an aluminium cap, which is widely recycled. You put the pump on the new bottle and you put your glass bottle in recycling.
Oh, okay.
But then there are lots of products that Tropic have that they can't physically refill. So, for example, like mascaras and lip glosses, they ask you to send, when you have 5, you send them back, and Tropic will either send you a replacement product or a voucher. And with the balloons I've just mentioned, when you save 5, we get the postman to come and pick them up, take them back to Tropic HQ where they get reused, and Tropic will issue you a £10 gift code for doing so. So there's incentives.
It's constantly win-win.
And more than that, 10% of all Tropic products, the profits of 10% of all Tropic products goes to support the most amazing causes around the world. So starting with the UK, we support the Trussell Trust. We have planted 7,000 trees in the Queen Elizabeth Country Park in Petersfield. We've supported Strive. We're supporting an initiative within the King's Trust, as it's now called. We run an orphanage for the victim of AIDS children in South Africa. And the best bit of all, it gives me goosebumps now, we've built 4 schools with United World Schools. We've built 1 in Nepal, 1 in Cambodia, and 2 in Madagascar. And we've just opened this 4th one. And this is teaching the unreached. This is giving education to children who don't have access to education. In Cambodia, for example, where they built the school, the children there used to have to walk 3 hours a day to get to their nearest school. And the education that they got was hindered by the fact that the dialect that the teachers used wasn't the same as the one from the village they came from. So now they can just walk. They've got 150 children enrolled in this school. And in Madagascar, Tropic paid for 34 ambassadors. We all got put in a draw. I didn't win it. 34 got picked out and went. And I'm getting goosebumps now. They showed the video of the 34 ambassadors who went to Madagascar to meet the children, to meet the villagers, to meet the elders. And the elders gathered in money and gave it to all the Tropic ambassadors and Carlton, the managing director, who was with them, and said, this is your place in our afterlife. It was some kind of religious thing that I don't remember what it was, but we were all sobbing. I mean, it was just phenomenal.
They sound like a fantastic brand and business to be involved with.
I think they are.
Like there's lots of amazing businesses out there, but like you speak so passionately about being an ambassador and working with them. Like they must be doing good if you're still there.
I've been doing this 7.5 years, and it just gets better, and it's the giving back. What drew me into Tropic was what they did in the bigger picture, what they did for these charities. It isn't just about making a fast buck. It's about really caring. It's about, we have initiatives with our carbon neutrality. We have initiatives in the Rimbaraya where we're helping, to stop the bad use of palm oil, to help the orangutans. There are initiatives all around the world. We've got an organisation in Australia growing baby coral in our name. And because, like, for example, in normal sun cream, here we are on a lovely sunny day, normal sun cream has an ingredient in it called oxybenzone. And a little known fact is it takes 1 drop of oxybenzone in an Olympic-sized swimming pool to kill all the baby coral in that pool.
Wow.
So everybody should be really thinking about, it takes 26 seconds for anything you put on your skin to get into your system. And if you can make an informed choice about what you put on your skin, you are helping yourself, helping the planet. Our sun cream sits on the skin. We are the first company in Europe to be Protect Land and Sea certified, which means our sun cream do no harm to the land or the sea. And, a lot of the baby corals are being killed. It's not just about plastics. It's not just about global warming. It's about chemicals. It's about what we put on our skin, which washes out into the sea. It's much bigger picture than people think.
Well, I think you've represented Tropic. Sorry, you told me off about that earlier. You've represented Tropic brilliantly.
Thank you.
And from the small bit of knowledge I had about them prior to today, I now know a lot more about them. So if you've done one thing today, you've educated one bloke.
Great. Well, that's it. That's what it's about. It's about giving people information to make an informed decision.
Thank you so much for coming.
My pleasure. Well, thank you for having me. It's been great.
We had Chloe on earlier. Like what I've sort of said is we'll come back in a year, 18 months time.
Fab.
See where we are then.
I'll still be here.
And see what new products are out and about.
Yep. Every 6 months we kind of launch new products. We get rid of stuff and bring out new ones. She's forever in the beauty kitchen in Croydon where everything's made. It's all made in the UK. Developing the most amazing products. I mean, it's phenomenal and it's all natural.
That's great. Thanks so much, Alex.
Thank you. Thanks, Bill. Thank you.
So that's it for today's episode of Tod Talks. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you found something helpful, heartwarming, or just plain inspiring from today's chat. If you're a parent listening, I'd love to know, what do you want to hear more of? More behind the scenes with local classes, tips from experts, honest stories from fellow parents? Drop me a message at todtalks@toddleabout.co.uk. This podcast is for you, and your voice really matters. And if you're a local business helping families and thinking, I'd love to be part of this, well, you can. Get in touch and we'll have a chat about how we can shine a light on what you do and connect you with families who need you. So until next time, take care, give your little ones an extra cuddle today, and remember, we're in this together.